Tune in to Sports 360 with Ahmed Hamad.
The first cricket test of the two-match series between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh ended in a draw on the fifth and final day at Galle today. Sri Lanka salvaged draw in Mathews' farewell test match. It was a case of what might have been for Bangladesh, who declared with 37 overs left. Sri Lanka batted out 32 overs in the final session and ensured that the first test in Galle ended in a draw. But both sides will be content with, if not happy. But it was not a result without minor jeopardy, as Sri Lanka lost 4 wickets on the way before Dhananjaya Silva and Kamindu Mendis shut up shop for good. The teams shook hands with 5 overs left to play in the day, with the pair having played out 53 balls in their partnership. But the reflection later on might leave Bangladesh with one hanging question. Could they have declared sooner? Dhananjaya and Kamindu had come together after Sri Lanka had lost both Angelo Mathews and Chandimal in quick succession, both to excellent Taijul who ended on figures of 3 for 23. But despite Taijul and Nayeem Hassan's best effort, it was clear the remaining 6 wickets would not fall before the 37 overs were up. But what if Bangladesh had a further 13 overs to play? Would that have put more pressure on both Dhananjaya and Kamindu? Could they have grabbed 1 or 2 more? All valid question, but ones we may never get an answer to. As things panned out, after roughly 2.5 hour rain interruption, Bangladesh played out 11 overs in the post-lunch session, added 48 runs and asked Sri Lanka to chase down a target of 296 of 37 overs at a required rate of 8 an over. If they wanted to steal an unlikely will, the 37 overs might have been more, but the primary goal of Bangladesh continuing to bat after the rain break seemed to be for Najmul Hassan Shanto to get to his 2nd century of the game. It was the 3rd instance of a Bangladeshi batsman scoring 2 centuries in the same test, and the 2nd time Shanto had accomplished the feat, the 15th batsman ever to do the unique double. It took 50 deliveries after the restart for Shanto to get to the milestone, during which Bangladesh had scored just 19 runs and lost the wickets of Liton Das and Zakir Ali, both coming to growing turn on offer and frustration with defensive lines down the leg. In the next 17 balls, the Bangladesh ransacked 29, including a try of 6s from Shanto down the ground off the spinners. Earlier, Bangladesh resumed their 2nd innings at the overnight score of 177 for the loss of 3 wickets, with a lead of 287, with Najmul Hassan Shanto batting on 56 along with Mushfiqur Rahim, who was batting on 22. They both added 109 of 191 for the 4th wicket. Mushfiqur Rahim contributed 49 and Najmul Hassan 56. But when the team total reached 237 in the 76th over, Bangladesh lost their 4th wicket. Mushfiqur Rahim was run out by Ratnayake on 49, 1 short of half century. He played 102 balls, hitting 4 fours. And the 5th wicket, back to back, yes, after adding another 4 runs, Liton Das was the 5th man to go, scoring 3, and he was bowled by Ratnayake at 241. Then 8 runs later, Bangladesh lost their 8th wicket, and that is of Zakir Ali, who scored only 2 runs, and he was stumped by Mendis off the bowling of Ratnayake. In the end, Najmul Hassan Shanto, with 125 unbeaten of 199, with the help of 9 fours and 3 sixes, and Naeem Hasan with 7 runs, remain unbeaten. Bangladesh scored 285 for the loss of 6 wickets in 87 overs before declaring this 2nd inning. For Sri Lanka, Ashita Fernando, 8 overs 31 runs and no wicket. Parbat Jayasuriya at 29 overs 3 maiden, 92 runs and 1 wicket. Tharindu Ratnayake, 29 overs 1 maiden, 102 runs and 3 wicket. Then Milan Ratnayake, 12 overs 4 maiden, 26 runs and 1 wicket. Dhananjaya Silva, 8 overs 27 runs and no wicket. And Kamindu Mendis, 1 over and he gave away 2 runs. In reply, Sri Lanka, who was set to chase 296 from the 37 overs, could only score 72 for the loss of 4 wickets in 32 overs when both the captain agreed to call it for a draw. Their opener played with intent and put on 32 in just 6 overs, but they lost the first wicket in the 6th over. Lahiru Udara was the first man to go out after scoring 9. He was stumped by Lytton Das. Taijul Islam deceived him and he was very well stumped by the wicketkeeper Lytton Das. The second wicket, 2 runs later, Pathun Nisanka, who scored a century in the first inning, was out after scoring 24 of 25 balls, hitting 4 fours, caught by Najmul Hassan Shanto off the bowling of Naeem Hasan. Then the third wicket, 47. Sri Lanka lost the third wicket at 47, and Angelo Mathews, who was playing his last test match, was out with after scoring 8. Caught at silly mid off Mominul Haq off the bowling of Taijul Islam. He made 8 of 45 balls, stayed at the wicket for 44 minutes and hit just 1 4. And then the fourth wicket, Danesh Chandimal at 48 in the 24th over, and he scored 6 and he was clean bowled by Taijul Islam, bowling from round the wicket and getting a sharp turn and taking his off stump. So he was out after scoring 6. Then Kamindu Mendis and the captain Dhananjaya de Silva, they both played, stayed at the crease. Kamindu Mendis 35 balls for his 12 and Dhananjaya de Silva 12 runs from 30 balls. In the end, Sri Lanka made 72 for the loss of 4 wickets from 32 overs. For Bangladesh, Hasan Mahmood 3 overs 19 runs and no wicket, but Taijul Islam 16 overs 6 maiden, 23 runs and 3 wicket, and Naeem Hasan 13 overs 4 maiden, 29 runs and 1 wicket. So the summary of the match, Bangladesh batting first scored 495 in their first inning. In reply, Sri Lanka made 485, conceding a 10 runs deficit. And then in the second inning, Bangladesh made 285 for the loss of 6 wickets before declaring their second innings, setting Sri Lanka a target of 296, and chasing that target in 37 overs was literally impossible. Sri Lanka batted for 32 overs and made 72 for the loss of 4 wickets when the match was decided as draw. Najmul Hassan Shanto, the captain of Bangladesh, who scored centuries in both the innings, just 148 in the first and 125 not out in the second innings, was declared man of the match. As this was the opening test of the ICC World Test Championship 2025 to 2027, both the team have 4 points each. Yes, the match ended in a draw and both the team have 4 points each with 33.33 win percentage.
Keep on watching Sports 360 with Ahmed Hamad for latest news, views, and interviews of sports personalities from around the world.